device being used by homeopathic doctors and naturopathic doctors all over the world. The first virus was imported in South Africa about 30 years ago, and it comes from Switzerland. Today we build a virus in South Africa as well. It is basically a bioimpedance meter. That means that it measures the resistance by using an ohmmeter of the different organs. The word virus derives from the word biological, which means life. It is alive. And res comes from the abbreviation of the word resonator. It is part of bioresonance therapy. The virus is being used to monitor or screen the organ function in the body to get an overall picture of the metabolism of the body. This is being done by putting the electrode on certain acupressure or acupuncture points on the hands and the feet, which are easily accessible, and also a few points on the head, and that gives us a picture of the overall metabolic processes in the body and also detects some dysfunctions in the body. A virus is an affordable and easy to use instrument that gives one a picture of the metabolic function of the body in order to help us prescribe medicines or herbal remedies. There are two electrodes. This one is held in the hand of the patient, and the other electrode is then used by the natural healer to place on the acupuncture points. The acupuncture points have energy running through them, and the interface between the energy and the electric current of the ohmmeter then gives a registration on the virus machine, and that reading helps the doctor or the natural healer to determine the problem in the body. This is the complete virus machine, and one can see the ohmmeter here that will give you a reading from 0 to 100. It's calibrated with a green showing the average. Then there's a timer for treatment purposes, and then a switch to either put it in treatment mode or in diagnostic mode. And here is the on and off switch. It will also work with the battery once the mains go down. There are three accessories. The one is the medicine tray that we put in front of the virus. The other part is the red electrode that we switch on once it is plugged in, and then we bring the medicine tray also into the circuit by connecting the two plugs on either side, and now we calibrate it to read 100. This is a little bit below 100, so I'm just going to turn it on a little bit until I get exactly 200. Now we're ready to test our patient. The virus is based on scientific studies being done for the first time in 1953 by Dr. Reinhold Wohl, a German medical practitioner. And he published this topographic positions of the measurement points in electroacupuncture. This forms the basis for the study of the virus machine. With the virus comes the user manual, which is a complete instruction on how to use the virus. It provides you with the correct acupuncture points to access, as well as recommendations for all the herbal medicines that you need to prescribe for different ailments. This is a graphic representation of the topographic points on the hand. It's easy to use because it gives you all the different organs being represented at the respective acupressure points. Here, for instance, we have the lymph glands on the thumb and also the lung. There we have an indication of the colon, the spinal nerves, the cerebral nerve, bronchial tubes, the thyroid, and the heart, and so on it provides you with a complete picture of the human body. A very interesting experiment that you can do right now is to take a pen or a pencil with a sharp point that will signify the electrode that you're going to use, and place it just next to the nail bed on the finger. At that very point, I can feel I'm touching the acupressure point because it feels alive. If I place my pen just next to that point, it feels dead. On the other side, it feels dead. Right around, it feels dead. There's only one specific point where I will get a reading on the Biores, and that is a point that you can feel. It sort of feels alive when you touch there. And you can do that on any finger until you reach that point, and that is the way we experiment to try and find the acupressure points. Next, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to read the acupressure points on the hands by placing the electrode, for instance, in the lung area or in the colon area on the finger, on the cervical nerves, on the blood circulation, skin or allergy, and so on. We're going to show that to you so that you will know how to use the Biores correctly. In a clinical setting, I will place my patient on a bed, take a wipe and clean the hand that I'm going to use thoroughly, but see to it that it's not too wet because that might influence the reading. Ask your patient to remove all bracelets and watches that may interfere with the electric circuit. Then place the electrode firm in the patient's hand while you are going now to take a reading on the other hand. I prefer to use electrogel because that provides us with a better connection on the specific acupuncture points. Just rub it lightly on the fingers to make contact, and now we are ready to read. First of all, on the thumb, I'm going to read the position of the lymph gland. And there it gives me a reading. Gives me a reading which is in the green, which shows that the lymph gland is functioning normally. The second reading measures the lung function, and it gives us once again a green reading. To take all the readings on the hand, starting with the lymph glands, the lung, the bronchi, the colon, cervical nerves, skin allergies, and so on. And whenever there's a low reading, like in this instance, there's a low reading indicating a possible dysfunction with the adrenal glands, then we know there's an area of concern. The practitioner will then assess which medicine will indicate the best prognosis. In this case, I'm going to place echinacea herbal in there. This is a test bottle, and in the brochure that you will receive, there is a list of all the possible herbal remedies that you can use for respective ailments. In this case, I'm going to put echinacea in there and see how it picks up the reading. By removing echinacea, one can see that the reading goes down again because the energy is removed from compensating. One method of treatment is now to switch the machine from diagnosis to treatment and to stimulate that point. Another method of treatment is to prescribe the correct kind of medicine in the form of either tinctures or capsules. There is a remedy for every ailment. The purchasing price of the Biores includes the test bottle series as well as training. For the fairly inexpensive machine, this is a very good investment in any practice. Without the virus, the practitioner is not able to properly screen and know what to prescribe to the patient. So we strongly recommend that every practitioner buys the virus and learns how to use it. It is really easy to use, as you've seen in this demonstration, and it provides a wonderful method of determining the total metabolic function of the human body to enhance total health.